Hello and welcome to the Brazilian BA Guest. We are doing a series of videos based on presenters or with guests that are presenters of the BBC, the Building Business Capability, the greatest conference in business analysis in the world that's going to happen in the end of June. And today I have the pleasure to have as my guest Sasha Aganova. Hello, Sasha. Thank you for coming.
Hi, Fabricio. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Sasha, I have for you today a question that it's two questions in one, right? The question is, why is business transformation so hard? And what can we do to make it easier?
Right. Well, I'm sure you know that's not an easy question. There are so many components to change, and especially to the large transformation that organizations go through. There is people, there are process, there is technology, of course, all of the aspects of it, and that's what makes it so complex. It's not enough just to think and envision the future state, and you might have already some specific things that you know exactly how to get to, but there are so many intricacies of it. There are so many complexities within each of the domains, as I said, from people, process, and technology. And when you look at it as cumbersome as it is, in totality, it is overwhelming. So how do you actually understand every single component? How do you a little bit untangle the complexity, and then all of the supporting components, like having a right leadership, having right sponsorship, who's going to take you throughout from the very beginning, from the vision to the end state. How do you make sure they have the right SMEs, right? That the right knowledgeable and have access throughout and from the very beginning to the very end, so they stick with you, not from only designing perspective, but also sustainability perspective. How do you make sure that it's not done once, it's not perceived that you do it once, you implement it, you have to go live, and that's it, you're done. This is also cannot be done. So all of these components make it so complex. And by the way, as all we know, you still have to transform while you're keeping the lights on, right? The business is not stopping. It's not waiting for you to say, okay, yeah, let us wait for a little bit, for a couple of years until you're done with this transformation. We still have to ship. We still have to deliver the services while this transformation is going ahead. And by the way, adding the complexity because of the external things that happen, like pandemic, like shortages of supply, like shortage of talent, and a lot of other things. So that's what everything, what I mentioned, is making this complex.
I understand it. And it's interesting when you say about the enormous amount of things that you had to think about business transformation, and someone could argue, just make it smaller, let's make in small chunks of transformation, but that those small chunks does not take all the complexity out, because they are interconnected with all the other stuff that you have to figure out what that small transformation will impact in the whole. And so the second part of my question is what I'm still expecting. What can we do to make it easier?
That's it, Mauricio. So that's a single. If I would have, here's a single bullet, everybody would never ever have a problem with that. But you nail it to the point. So first of all, there's no one methodology, right? And the way what worked for us. So Process Renewal Group, we've delivered for over 20 years, more than 100 projects around the world with a different level of complexities. And I don't have any, here's a silver bullet, but there are a lot of things, rigorous things. If you apply, you will be successful.
Nice.
So of course, what you mentioned is right on. So even if you break the big transformation into smaller pieces, things like program management, project management becomes very, very important. Another thing, and it's absolutely, I know we are concentrating, especially building business capability, more on the business analysis as well as business process management. But we should not forget that things like project management as well, change management are so critical. It's like all four legs to the stool, right? So absolutely should not forget about that. But if I go back to our business analysis as well as business process management part of it, well, you start with a business architecture. That's one of the things that absolutely will drive and at least will align all of the transformation. It looks not only where we want to become, what we want to do, as well as where we are, and make sure that we understand the gap that needs to be breached. And that will help us to build that, as you're saying, Fabrizio, from, you know, very tactical way of the roadmap from today to be, current architecture, intermediate one, as well as the final. So it structures the conversations, it untangles from all the perspective of the business architecture, it drives our process architecture so we know what processes we'll have to put together as we go. And then from processes as well, of course, it's going to drive every single thing, other aspects of the people and technology, what needs to be changed as well, right? So I think what is very, very important for us, it is that structure and untangle the complexity. It is to use the tools that we know, things like a business architecture, like a process architecture, and absolutely make sure that expertise from the business analysis as well, the change management and the project management are all aligned and we're all going together towards the same goal.
Nice, nice. I like this idea. Despite we have a lot of different disciplines, we have to align those disciplines into the same track or into the same route. I know that you are doing a presentation at the Building Business Capability Conference called Living the Dream, turning strategic intent into operational results. How does that presentation helps people to understand how can they live this dream as well?
Well, it's exactly that, because it is a spotlight session. We're going to do it on Wednesday at 10:30, and please come. We will give some exact, I'm actually bringing the example, and we're going to show all of the connections, how everything is interconnected and linked, how KPIs drive the conversation and makes it an evidence-based conversation to eliminate a lot of gaps between different areas of transformation. So please come to our session. We will bring you and show you this rigorous approach that does work. And again, this is our lessons learned based on so many different projects that we've done successfully. And we'll show you the tools. So, and hopefully will motivate you to take over some difficult transformations and either support your clients or do it yourselves.
Real nice, real examples from real life and some proven techniques and ways of working. Thank you very much, Sasha. I won't miss that. And I hope to see you soon at BBC.
Absolutely, I'll see you there. Can't wait.
Bye.
Bye for now.